Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today, but even if you're not, I want you to know this video might change something inside you, not because it's magical, not because I'm going to teach you 1,000 new words, but because I'm going to give you something most learners never get, the courage to start. Let me be completely honest with you, starting a conversation in English feels impossible for most learners, not because their English is bad, but because their fear is louder than their voice. You might have good vocabulary, you might understand everything when someone else speaks, you might have been learning English for months or even years, but when it's time to actually say something to a real person, you freeze, you stay quiet, you pretend to smile. You wait for the perfect sentence to come, but it never does. And later you feel angry at yourself. Does that sound familiar? That's why I made this video. Because I've seen too many learners who can learn but they never speak. Too many people who want to talk but never start. And the truth is, most videos on this topic will give you a list of 10 phrases and say, repeat after me. But they don't talk about the real problem: fear, hesitation, awkward silence, self-doubt. In this video, I'll not only teach you exactly how to start a conversation in English step by step in the most easy and natural way, but I'll also show you how to speak even if you're shy, scared, nervous, or even if your English is not perfect. You will learn what to say first and why waiting is dangerous, how to keep the conversation going so it doesn't die after hi, what to do if you forget words, how to practice conversations alone even at home, and how to finally feel confident speaking English in real life. But more than anything, this video is about helping you break the wall of silence inside your mind, because once you say the first sentence, everything changes. So don't treat this like another lesson, treat this like the beginning of a new version of yourself, the version that finally speaks. Let's begin. Part 1: The 3-second rule, why you should speak before your fear wakes up. Let's start with the most important rule when it comes to starting a conversation in English. Don't wait, say something in 3 seconds. Why? Because your brain is your best friend but also your worst enemy when you're nervous. The longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. You start thinking, what if I say something wrong? What if they laugh at me? What if I forget the words? What if they don't understand me? And by the time you've thought all that, the moment is gone. You see, fear needs time to grow. If you don't give it time, it has no power. That's why we use the 3-second rule. When you see someone and feel like starting a conversation, you have exactly 3 seconds. That's your window. In those 3 seconds, you don't try to be perfect. You don't try to be smart. You don't even try to impress. You just say something, even if it's simple, even if it sounds silly, even if it's just hi or nice weather today. The point is not the sentence. The point is the action. Because once you speak, you stop thinking. Once the words leave your mouth, your fear loses control. Here's what it sounds like in real life. Example 1: you see someone waiting at the bus stop. You walk up and say, "Hi, the bus is late again." That's it. You didn't ask a deep question. You didn't give a speech. You just made a simple comment about the moment. And now the door is open. Example 2: you're in a class or meeting. Someone sits next to you. You turn and say, "Hey, is this your first time here?" Even if they just say, "Yes," now you can follow up. "Oh, mine too. I wasn't sure where to sit." See how it flows? The first sentence doesn't need to be big. It just needs to exist. Now here's what I want you to understand deeply. Most people are not judging you. They're also scared. They're also unsure. They're also waiting for you to speak first. So when you speak, they feel safe. You become the brave one. And that's how leaders are born, not with perfect grammar, but with imperfect courage. Now before we move to part 2, let me give you a power tip. Whenever you go outside, practice saying something in 3 seconds to the shopkeeper, the waiter, your neighbor, even a stranger. Say anything. "Good morning. How's your day? That's a nice bag. The weather is crazy today." It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is you didn't wait. And the more you do this, the less scary it becomes, because you're training your brain to speak before fear arrives. This is your first real step to fluency. Not memorizing phrases, but becoming the kind of person who speaks without delay. You speak first. You lead the moment. You become confident. And that is how conversations begin. Part 2: Easy first sentences that work anywhere with anyone, anytime. Let's talk about something extremely important. Now you've already learned that you need to speak within 3 seconds. That's how you start. But now the question is, what should you say? This is where most English learners feel stuck, because they think, "I want to speak, but I don't know the right sentence. What if I say something weird? What if they don't respond the way I expect?" This fear is completely normal, and the solution is not to wait for perfect words. The solution is to prepare natural, simple, safe first sentences that work in any situation without needing a big vocabulary. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you in this part. These are not robotic textbook phrases. These are real, casual, friendly, confident sentences that real people use in everyday life. The kind of English that doesn't make you sound like a beginner, even if you are. Let's break it into 4 categories. Category 1, general starters work everywhere. These are for any person in any place at any time. Use them in the office, at school, in a store, at a party, on the street, anywhere. Hi, how's your day going? Hey, I think I've seen you before. Hi, I'm Jack, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Are you from around here? So, what do you do? Is this your first time here? Now, let's break these down simply. Hi, how's your day going? This is the easiest way to show you're friendly. It's not too deep but not too boring. It allows the other person to respond with good or busy, and you can continue from there. I think I've seen you before. This is a smart way to connect. You're not claiming to know them, you're just hinting familiarity. It opens the door for a relaxed conversation like, oh, really, maybe, and now you're both smiling and talking. Are you from around here? This is useful when you're in a new place, a city, an event, a class, a party. It doesn't feel forced, it's natural curiosity. If they say yes, you ask more about the area. If they say no, you ask where they're from. Either way, the conversation continues. Category 2, office, classroom, professional environment. If you're at work or in a classroom, you don't always want to sound casual. You want to sound natural but respectful. Here are your go-to first sentences. Is this seat taken? Hi, I'm new here. Are you part of this project too? Have you worked on something like this before? What do you think of this topic so far? The session was really interesting today, right? Now let's slow these down and explain them. Is this seat taken? This is polite. You're asking permission to sit. It's a soft entry into a conversation. And once they respond with no, go ahead, you can say, thanks, I'm Jack, by the way. Boom, the conversation has begun. I'm new here. Are you part of this project too? This is honest. If you're new, say it. People appreciate honesty, and most people will want to help you or talk to you when you're new. This is how professionals build trust with simple truth, not big words. Category 3, social events, parties, groups. These situations can feel awkward, especially if you don't know anyone. But the good news is everyone is looking for a conversation. They just need someone to begin. Here are the perfect openers. Hey, I love your shoes, dress, jacket. Where did you get it? This place is really nice. Have you been here before? So how do you know the host? The food is amazing, right? I'm terrible at remembering names. What was your name again? Let's make one thing clear. Compliments are powerful. They don't need to be dramatic. Just small, kind observations like that color looks great on you can start amazing conversations. And here's why this works. When you compliment someone or ask a question about their opinion or experience, you make them feel interesting. And that's the secret to being a great English speaker. Make others feel seen. Category 4, random but powerful situational openers. Life is full of small moments. You're waiting in line, sitting in a waiting room, standing in an elevator, looking at something in a shop. These are perfect chances for light conversation. Use lines like, long line today, huh? I can't decide, this one or that one. That book looks interesting, have you read it before? Looks like we're both stuck waiting. The weather today is wild. Now read this carefully. These sentences are not about deep topics. They are about breaking the silence. They are about letting someone know, I'm friendly, I'm open, let's talk. That's all you need to begin. And yes, some people may give short answers. Some might not want to continue, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you failed. You succeeded the moment you tried. Because every time you speak, you remove fear from your brain. Don't try to say something impressive. Just say something real. People don't remember the words. They remember how they felt when you spoke to them. Warmth, openness, courage, presence. That's what makes your English powerful, not the size of your vocabulary. Every single day, speak one of these first sentences to someone, even a stranger, even just once. And here's the truth. If you do this for 30 days, you'll never be afraid to start a conversation again because now you know what to say. Now you have your toolkit. Now it's just about using it. Part 3, golden follow-up tricks, so it doesn't feel awkward or die early. Let's say you've done everything right so far. You saw someone, you remembered the 3-second rule. You said a beautiful first sentence. Hi, how's your day going? They smiled. They replied, it's going well, thanks. And now you panic. Your mind goes blank. You don't know what to say next. You feel the silence growing. You tell yourself, I shouldn't have started this. Now it's awkward. And just like that, the conversation dies. This is exactly where 99% of English learners get stuck. And this is where your real growth begins. So now I will teach you something life-changing, something nobody explains deeply in English learning videos. The real secret to continuing any conversation is this: don't search for the next sentence, search for their story. What does this mean? It means stop trying to impress. Stop trying to say something smart and start trying to understand the other person. Because when you become curious, the conversation flows naturally. The three-step technique: ask, listen, comment. This is the golden technique that makes you fluent even if your vocabulary is small. Let's break it down. Step 1. Ask. Start by asking a small, natural question based on what they said. Let's use a real example. You, so where are you from? Them, I'm from Brazil. Now don't jump to another topic. Don't say, oh okay, so what do you do? That kills the rhythm. Instead, Step 2. Listen, pause, let their answer enter your mind. Repeat it in your head. Brazil. Think, what do I know about Brazil? Have I heard anything interesting? Is there anything I'm curious about? And then, Step 3. Comment. Make a simple comment or ask a follow-up question that shows interest. You, oh, I've always wanted to visit Brazil. Which city are you from? Them, Sao Paulo. You, nice, what's it like living there? Them, it's busy but fun. Now look what happened. The conversation didn't stop. It grew from where are you from to which city to what's it like. And now you're naturally talking. That's how you build a bridge, not with difficult words but with genuine interest. The fire analogy: think of a conversation like a fire. You start it with a spark, your first sentence, but if you don't give it oxygen, interest, curiosity, follow-up, the fire dies. When you ask, listen and comment, you're giving oxygen. You're helping the conversation grow and breathe. That's why the best English speakers aren't the ones with perfect grammar. They're the ones who listen deeply and respond warmly. Let's now build your follow-up toolkit. Real, natural phrases that make you sound fluent without sounding forced. You can use these phrases after someone answers your question. Oh really, that's interesting. I've never heard that before, tell me more. What made you choose that? Is it something you enjoy? How long have you been doing that? That sounds fun, how did you get into it? I've always been curious about that. Let's practice with a few examples. Example 1, talking about a job. You, what do you do? Them, I'm a graphic designer. Now don't say cool and stop, instead. You, that's interesting, what kind of design do you do? Them, mostly logos and brand identity. You, wow, that must take creativity, how did you get into that? Them, I've loved art since I was a kid. You see what's happening? You're not just speaking English, you're connecting as a human. That's what makes English powerful, not the accent, not the grammar, but the energy. Example 2, talking about travel. You, do you enjoy traveling? Them, yes, I love it. Now expand the fire. You, nice, what's your favorite place you've visited? Them, probably Italy. You, Italy sounds amazing, what did you love most about it? Them, the food and the people. Now you can say, I've always wanted to try real Italian pizza. Was it as good as they say? Boom, you're now in a 3-minute conversation, all from one small sentence. That's the power of this technique. The big mistake: don't jump topics too fast. Many learners think they need to ask 10 different questions to look fluent, so they ask, where are you from? What do you do? You like movies? What's your favorite food? But the problem is you don't go deep into anything. You stay on the surface and the conversation feels robotic. Instead, go deep into one topic. Explore it, ask about it, share your thoughts too. That's what real conversations sound like. Fluency is not how fast you speak. Fluency is how long you can keep a conversation alive. That's it. And with this 3-step technique, ask, listen, comment, you can keep a conversation going for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 30 minutes. All without big words, all without being perfect, all because you're present. Every day I want you to do this. Choose one person to talk to. A friend, a classmate, a stranger, a coworker. Ask one question from the phrases you learned today. Listen to their answer. Say one follow-up sentence or question, that's all. One conversation, one follow-up every single day. In 1 month, your confidence will transform because now you won't just know how to start a conversation, you'll know how to grow it. Because many people will still say, but what if I'm too shy? What if I get nervous? What if my mind goes blank? Part 4, how to speak English when you're shy, nervous, or scared. Let me begin this part with a truth that nobody talks about enough. English learning is not just about language, it's about emotion. It's not just about grammar or vocabulary, it's about fear, shame, insecurity, and self-image. And the biggest mistake most learners make is this: they try to improve their English without healing their fear. but that's like trying to swim while holding a heavy stone. You'll stay stuck. No matter how strong your arms are, no matter how good your technique is, the fear will pull you down. So in this part, I will not just give you motivational words. I will give you deep truths, real techniques, and daily steps that will help you speak even if you are the most shy, scared, or introverted person in the room. Let's first understand where this fear comes from. You are not born shy. You were born to make noise, to cry, to scream, to laugh out loud. Shyness is something the world teaches you through criticism, rejection, comparison, or humiliation. And for English learners, this fear becomes even bigger because you are afraid of making mistakes. You think people will laugh at your accent. You think your English is not good enough. You compare yourself to fluent speakers and feel small. You believe that silence is safer than speaking badly. But let me ask you something very real. When you were a child and said the word mama for the first time, did your mother say your grammar is wrong? Of course not. She celebrated it because speaking is progress even when it's imperfect. So let's rewrite the story. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be used. It needs to be spoken. It needs to be felt, even with fear. Every shy English learner has two voices inside their mind. The fear voice, don't speak. You'll say something wrong. They'll laugh. Just stay quiet. The growth voice, say something, anything, even if it's small. You're learning, you're growing. Now let me tell you something powerful. The voice you feed will become stronger. If you keep feeding fear, it will dominate your life. But if you feed growth, even in small silent ways, it will grow like a seed. Let's now talk about practical steps. Not motivational theory, but real actions that will break the wall of fear and build your courage. Each step is simple but life-changing. Technique 1. Speak without eye contact. At first, one of the reasons you feel nervous is because you fear the other person's eyes. You fear their reaction, you imagine them judging you, so practice speaking without looking at their face directly. For example, practice speaking to someone while looking slightly to the side or down. Practice with a mirror but focus on your own mouth, not your eyes. Record your voice without watching your face. You will still communicate, but the pressure of eye connection won't stop your words. And over time, you'll feel comfortable adding eye contact again. Technique 2. Use prescripts in real life. If you're shy, you might hate the idea of improvising, so don't. Instead, write down 2 to 3 simple scripts for situations you face daily. For example, at a coffee shop, "Hi, can I get a black coffee, please? No sugar, just plain, thank you, have a nice day." Now practice this exact sentence 10 times at home, then go to the coffee shop and say it. You'll feel nervous the first time, but the second time you'll feel stronger. By the 10th time, it becomes your muscle memory. That's how shy people become fluent, by preparing, not pretending. Technique 3. Use volume control practice. Many shy learners speak with a very low voice. This makes them feel smaller. It also makes people ask, "Sorry, what did you say?" And that increases shame. So do this powerful exercise daily. Choose one short sentence. Example, "I need some help." Say it softly, then say it louder, then in your maximum voice like you're on stage. You don't need to scream, but you need to practice your voice presence. Because when your voice becomes stronger, your fear becomes weaker. Technique 4. Practice speaking in empty spaces. This might sound strange, but it's powerful. Go to a park when it's not crowded. Walk around and talk to yourself in English out loud. Practice greetings, small conversations, opinions. Talk about what you see, feel, and think. No one is listening, no one is judging, but you're training your courage. Shy learners don't need crowds. They need safe spaces to speak. And this is how you build it. Technique 5. Embrace one mistake per day. Make this your new rule. I will allow myself to make one mistake per day in English. In fact, try to find that one mistake, look for it, because each mistake is not a failure, it's a step. Shy people fear mistakes like they're monsters, but mistakes are teachers. And the faster you make them, the faster you grow. A raw, powerful truth you must never forget: your silence will never be perfect, but your voice, even if it trembles, will always be powerful. There are fluent speakers in this world who talk confidently but say nothing meaningful. And there are shy learners who speak only 3 sentences, but those sentences are real, emotional, and brave. That's the kind of English that changes lives, not perfect but honest, not big but alive. Mini mission for shy learners. Starting today, do this simple challenge for 7 days. Choose one short sentence like "How are you?" or "Have a good day." Practice it 10 times alone. Say it to one real person, a shopkeeper, a guard, a waiter, anyone. Come home and write down, "I did it." That's all. One sentence, one person, one moment of courage. Do this for 7 days. Then increase the length of your sentence. Then try a second sentence, then a follow-up. This is not just English practice. This is emotional training. You're teaching your body, your mind, your tongue that speaking is safe. Wherever you live, whatever your accent is, however limited your vocabulary may be, if you have something to say, say it. Say it with fear, say it with shaking hands, say it with broken grammar, say it, even if your voice is soft, because one sentence spoken with courage is worth more than 1,000 sentences never spoken at all. And slowly the fear that once controlled you will start to listen to you. Part 5. Practice with me. Real English conversations you can repeat and use anywhere. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever watched English videos for hours but still feel nervous when it's time to talk? Have you ever memorized grammar rules but forget simple words when someone asks you a question? Do you ever think, why is my English fine in my head but broken when I speak? The answer is simple, because thinking is not speaking, listening is not speaking, reading is not speaking. You learn to speak by speaking. You train your mouth, you train your tongue. You train your mind to respond naturally, just like a muscle. And in this part, we're going to do that together, you and me. I will become your conversation partner right now. You will repeat after me, you will speak with me, you will say the words out loud, not just think them in your head. And if you do this part seriously, not just once, but every day, your confidence will explode and your English will finally become your voice, not just your dream. You'll hear two voices. One, my voice, the speaker. Two, your voice, the learner. You will repeat out loud after each line. Take a pause, speak clearly. Even if you're alone, say it like you're talking to someone. We'll go through 3 real-life conversation scenes: a simple introduction, a casual conversation with a stranger, a short, friendly chat in the workplace. After that, I'll give you tips on how to repeat this at home every day and how to create your own practice that makes you fluent fast. Let's begin. Scene 1, simple introduction. You meet someone new. Me, hi, I'm Alex, what's your name? You repeat, hi, I'm Alex, what's your name? Me, nice to meet you, where are you from? You repeat, nice to meet you, where are you from? Me, I'm from Canada, what about you? You repeat, I'm from Canada, what about you? Me, cool, it's my first time here. You repeat, cool, it's my first time here. Me, are you enjoying the event so far? You repeat, are you enjoying the event so far? Now pause, did you repeat out loud? If yes, good, if not, go back, because this is real speaking. Don't just understand, speak. Scene 2, casual conversation with a stranger. Me, hi, the weather's really nice today, isn't it? You repeat, hi, the weather's really nice today, isn't it? Me, yeah, it finally stopped raining. You repeat, yeah, it finally stopped raining. Me, do you come to this park often? You repeat, do you come to this park often? Me, oh nice, I just moved to this area. You repeat, oh nice, I just moved to this area. Me, any good places to eat around here? You repeat, any good places to eat around here? Me, thanks, I'll check that out. You repeat, thanks, I'll check that out. Me, well, it was nice talking to you, have a great day. You repeat, well, it was nice talking to you, have a great day. Pause again, how did that feel? Did you notice something? All of these sentences were simple, natural, and practical. That's the kind of English you need every day. Not fancy, not difficult, but real. Scene 3, friendly chat in the workplace. Me, hey, are you working on the same project too? You repeat, hey, are you working on the same project too? Me, it's a bit challenging, right? You repeat, it's a bit challenging, right? Me, I'm still trying to understand the instructions. You repeat, I'm still trying to understand the instructions. Me, have you worked on something like this before? You repeat, have you worked on something like this before? Me, that's helpful, thanks for the tip. You repeat, that's helpful, thanks for the tip. Me, let's catch up later when we have time. You repeat, let's catch up later when we have time. This is how you speak English in the real world. This is how confident people sound, not because their grammar is perfect, but because their practice is real. Here's the simple but powerful formula. Choose one conversation scene from this video. Repeat the full scene out loud, once in the morning, once at night. Add your own name, country, job, or details to personalize it. Slowly start saying both sides, not just repeating, but acting out the whole dialogue. For example, you become both people. Hi, I'm Alex, what's your name? Hi, I'm Maria, nice to meet you, where are you from? I'm from Spain. This is how your brain gets trained to respond fast. Because now you're not just learning English, you're living in English. And every day you do this, you're not just improving your words, you're rewiring your confidence. Fluency is not about knowing everything. Fluency is about being ready to speak with what you already know. And that's what you just did. You practiced, you repeated, you spoke, you trained your courage. Now imagine doing this for the next 30 days, every morning, every night, one scene a day. You would become unstoppable. Part 6, Final Motivation, Why You Must Speak Now, Not Later. Let's finish with something real, something honest, something you already know deep inside, but maybe no one has ever said to you before. Your silence is costing you more than your mistakes ever will. Yes, you might make grammar mistakes when you speak. Yes, someone might not understand your pronunciation. Yes, you might feel nervous, uncomfortable, or embarrassed. But ask yourself this: what has silence given you so far? What opportunities have you missed? What connections never happened because you stayed quiet? What dreams have been delayed because you were scared to speak? You don't need to answer me, but you must answer yourself. Every day you wait to speak, every day you say, not today, every day you think, I'll speak when I'm fluent, you are moving further away from the life you actually want. The job you want requires communication. The people you admire speak without waiting for perfect English. The confidence you're chasing lives on the other side of your first sentence. And if you don't speak today, you'll wake up a year from now, still watching videos, still feeling stuck, still full of knowledge but empty of experience. And that is not your fault, but it will become your choice if you don't do something now. English is not just a language, it's a tool of freedom, a passport to connect with the world, a voice that makes people listen, a bridge to opportunity. But here's the truth: you don't need more vocabulary to start, you don't need perfect grammar to be respected, you don't need 10 years of practice to sound confident. What you need is one brave moment, one sentence, one decision to speak. Even if your hands are shaking, that's all. Whether you're in a small village or a big city, whether you're a student, a mother, a teacher, a worker, or someone who feels left behind, whether you failed before, been laughed at before, or felt invisible before, you are still allowed to speak. No one can take that from you. Not fear, not your past, not your level, not your accent, not your mistakes, not even your doubts. You are allowed to speak badly because every fluent person once spoke badly. You are allowed to speak slowly because every confident speaker once spoke slowly. You are allowed to speak broken English because every strong voice was once broken. But what you are not allowed to do anymore is give up. Not after everything you've learned. Not after everything you've practiced. Not after everything you've been through. The world is full of people who speak better than you, but it is also full of people who are less talented than you, less smart than you, less hardworking than you, yet they have more than you because they had the courage to speak. They didn't wait to be ready. They didn't wait to be fluent. They spoke, they connected, they tried, and they won. And now it's your turn, because if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait your whole life. This is not just a video. This is your final excuse destroyed. From this moment forward, I want you to speak one sentence in English every day. Even if it's to a stranger, even if it's to your dog, even if it's in front of a mirror, just speak and say it like your future depends on it, because it does. Your daily mantra: I don't speak because I'm perfect, I speak because I'm brave. And the more I speak, the more perfect I become. If you've made it this far, you're not just an English learner anymore. You are a speaker. You've already started. You've practiced. You've repeated. You've imagined yourself speaking in real situations. Now make it real. This is no longer about learning English. This is about owning your voice. Don't wait. Don't hide. Don't hold your breath. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. Your presence matters. Let the world hear you in English. Even if it's just the beginning, even if it's just one word, even if it's just one brave sentence today, because that sentence could change your entire life. If this video touched your heart, if it opened your mind, if it made you believe even for 1 second that you can speak English, then I want you to remember one thing: this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new version of you, a version that doesn't wait anymore, a version that doesn't hide behind fear, a version that doesn't say I can't but whispers I will try. Because now you know you don't need perfect words, you need a brave heart, and you have it. And if you ever feel lost again, come back to this video, practice again, repeat again, and remind yourself, I'm not too late, I'm just getting started. You have a voice, the world is waiting to hear it. So speak every day, louder, stronger, truer. And if you want more videos like this, not boring lessons, but real, powerful, emotional guidance to help you speak English from your heart, then please subscribe to this channel, not just to support me, but to support your future self. The version of you that speaks clearly, that speaks confidently, that speaks proudly, because you deserve that. Thank you for being here, and remember, one brave sentence can change your life. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep speaking, keep believing, never give up.